This video is sponsored by Noragon, the commercial vehicle data experts. Visit noragon.com to learn more.
So what do you think?
I think it's working fine.
Yeah, but what about the truck service data?
What about it?
Well, I mean, what insights can you glean? What about our shop throughput or out-of-service tire reasons or regions? Are we running too many regions there? I mean, I could really use some help figuring out what all this means.
I'm just an IT guy. I don't know what any of this means. I just make your stuff work.
Yeah, but the data.
To say that Jason's a little lonely down here in the shop would be an understatement.
Hey, IT guy, I found the data I was looking for. Why don't you come over here? I'll walk you through it.
Apparently he dialed every extension in the office looking for an assistant. I was the only one who answered.
Hi everyone, welcome to FE's Data Center, the series that aims to make truck data approachable. I am Jason, and as my IT specialist friend pointed out here earlier, today we're going to talk about the importance of technician training. So take note, what heavy-duty technicians need to understand are the tools in the shop. Today's tools need to be standalone solutions for day-to-day use, but also integrate with OEM applications for increased functionality. The best of these tools will make technicians more efficient by providing rapid diagnostics and pertinent service information for assistance with repairs. They should be quick to hook up to a vehicle and provide a majority of the features within 1 or 2 screens. The most useful tools will be routinely updated with added features and expanded coverage to ensure that the technician can continue to work on the latest components. In addition to diagnostics and repair solutions, fleets should also equip tools with adapters that allow technicians to work on vehicles regardless of age. Modern adapters work with the latest protocols while remaining backwards compatible with older vehicles. Once they're comfortable with the tools in the shop, you'll want to keep their truck service education going, and that means hands-on training and leveraging the latest in video to make it happen. For technician training best practices and more tips, here's our Noragon Pro with more insight.
For technician training, what's the best combination of hands-on and study materials? I'll get a little bit personal here because this is something I have a decent amount of experience with. Audience, when it comes to training, is very important because there's no such thing as too much training. But in terms of audience, resources often play a role, right? So your independent shops may not have the level of equipment and tooling access and training that dealer levels may have, right? Cost can be an issue, things like that. But from me coming from the automotive side of things, moving into the heavy duty industry, I had access to third-party training. So me as working in an independent shop, the shop owners would take the time to send me and other technicians and even managers to training sessions. And just some of the materials they would go over is just very, very well thought out and just carried through my career. They were some of the most memorable training sessions that I've ever been to. Third-party training organizations like a lot of the common parts houses will host their own training sessions, like Napa's got Auto Tech, and O'Reilly's has this thing called real world training. Again, just thinking about things that I've been to. We've even been to dedicated training centers. There was one called East in Enhanced Automotive Systems Technology. I think they're based out of New Jersey, but they would travel around and come to our locations and things like that and host a local training session. But just the reason why I'm saying that is there's lots of options out there for third-party training. And even though you're a specific market, industry segment or brand may not directly pertain to the types of things being taught in those classes, the skills and hands-on training and the materials that you get back, so you get booklets and things like that come back with you, so that you can take from the class, or even certificates of attendance and things like that. you will you come out of there knowing theory, foundation, and even a lot of hands-on experience from demos and setups that they have that they'll have there for you. One of the things being in the heavy duty industry, working with JPro in particular, one of my favorite features of JPro is the bus statistics. It's one of my favorite features. Most service tools don't have something quite like that, where it shows you network or diagnostic link connector pinouts, which networks are active on the DLC at that one point in time. There's all kinds of different features and things in JPro, like Repair Mentor, where it brings many things that technicians can easily look over going into diagnostics from the start. Fluid levels, battery voltage, things like that should be assessed immediately, that can sometimes just escape in the day-to-day. You're diving in thinking it's going to be a really complex problem, and keeping it simple sort of saves the day. JPro tries to bring those types of things forward. But yeah, absolutely, by far, my most favorite feature of JPro is the bus statistics feature. I'm heavy into diagnostics. That's just me personally, and using oscilloscopes and things like that to diagnose network issues and wiring faults and things like that. And bus statistics is a fantastic addition to the tool set if you have it available. Regardless of which industry sector you're working in, many of the control systems and electronics and diagnostic functions are industry agnostic, right? Sort of segment agnostic. It doesn't matter which segment you're working on. A blower motor is a blower motor. A solenoid is a solenoid. An AC compressor is an AC compressor, especially between light duty automotive and heavy duty. Those theories and they're the way you diagnose those types of things are the same. Vehicle networks and wiring, they share across industry, they share architecture commonalities. So diagnostic approaches are the same. And again, as a technician coming from automotive side, going into the heavy duty world, my experience in the light duty gasoline and diesel diagnostic segments have absolutely served me well in the heavy duty industry. Even in a dealer level setting, many of the dealer level training sessions are very specific. They have very specific ways of training their technicians. Some of the third-party organizations provide more out-of-the-box thinking when it comes to approaches of diagnostics, and it just adds to your mental toolbox. And many of the classes, regardless if it's dealer-specific or aftermarket, many of the classes and seminars will combine service and scan tools with real-world tooling, test rigs, real-world scenarios and conditions, and they really try to tie it all together. They'll start with the theory and then they'll move into the shop. My third-party experiences were excellent. All of my dealer-level training was excellent as a technician, and it's absolutely served me well here in Oregon. That's my take on the best combination of hands-on study materials. Is most dealer levels will provide that, as well as the third-party organizations that are out there.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Tune in next time and we'll talk about how to set up the most useful truck service alerts in remote diagnostics platforms. Thanks for watching.
I spent all afternoon combing through resumes for the service data analyst assistant position so that maybe Jason will find a good candidate. I also reprogrammed his phone so that any internal extension he dials goes to an out-of-service number that just rings and rings and rings. What? I got work to do. It's not like I get an assistant.